Hey, I just wanted to do a quick video and go through some levels here that we've seen the Fed rate decision. I wasn't really paying attention to it. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, if they announce something, if they cut or raised, it would be a big deal. But especially if they cut, but it's not a big deal. So I don't really care about it. I just care more about the price action and the market trading after it. So we've got I was looking at these levels today. I have these levels drawn out for like a long time. So and they've continued to held and shown inflection points. So once it smashed down below this level here I was looking at IWM, like that's what I usually look at a lot, but it broke down there and then came back and then retested the level again here just like an hour ago. You can see all these wicks, long wicks there, and smashed back down and it just held that again. So it's probably going to finish around this area. So the fact that it held that support there is pretty interesting. I don't know if you can see it right at the bottom there. The fact that it held that's interesting, like because it goes back to here too. It goes back to pretty much there, like you could say roughly that was the support there. So yeah, actually it's basically a clear level that it held. So but these are the levels I'm looking at on IWM, and I drew these up. These look really good. Like these are the ones to watch, and I'm not sure what the SPY and Qs look like, but they're probably pretty similar. But IWM's always been a little different with all the banks and small caps. Of course, like the small, but more of the banks, But so I kind of thought it would just flush out and wouldn't rebound, because once it cracked that level, I thought it was going to be in serious trouble. But I guess it's just they're just trying to weed off and get those 0 DTE, those 1-day options traders. They're just trying to wipe them out, I guess. So it looks like it's going to do that. People that bought puts there. And that was a hell of a candle too. But that's the way it goes. Like I usually wait for the reaction. The reaction is always more important than the news or the event. And it goes with earnings too, with stocks and like pretty much any news you can see in the markets. It's how it digests the news and the fundamentals and earnings and how it reacts to it. So right now it's reacting, I would say pretty neutral, it's kind of a non-event that it held the levels, but as I speak it's kind of come back down, but that's the level to watch. If we crack this, like there's going to be it can test this lows here, test the lows from there. So it's looking pretty. It's barely flirting with red to green here. So, but that's the level I was talking about yesterday. It's right there, and it's on. It's threatening to take that out. But to me, it seems more likely we'll take it out here if we end really red and don't hold that level. Excuse me. So and then there's a lot more downside. It's still a channel though. It's not really like super bear. I mean, it's not the worst chart ever because we're in a channel still. We're in a couple channels here, but it's not. It's just kind of boring, really. It's just going sideways still. So that's the story of IWM and Russell. But the ones I was looking at today, I bought some JKS puts. JKS just broke through this descending triangle. It's a really bearish setup. It's a really bearish chart, I should say. And then it's a good short setup. So I bought puts. I put a 30. I bought the 29th of September. Like I put out a limit order, and then it just came back to low a day. So I just went ahead and took the basically what was like a market. I'd always rather get filled than not get filled. Like if you're quabbling over like pennies, you know, or pennies on a contract, or even like on a in a stock or whatever. If if it's like, it doesn't really matter the entry. If the setup's there, you want to be in the trade. So it's better to just be in the trade than miss out for like a better price that you think you could have gotten, because you're in it for the setup, not for the scalp. I'm not scalping, so if I was scalping, it'd be a big deal, but I'm going to hold these for days, so it doesn't really matter. The entry price doesn't really matter as much per se. But that's one of the things. Y'all was interesting too. I was talking about this yesterday. It came up to the end of the triangle here, and it was going to go one way or the other at some with these triangle when it hit the end here. So it broke up, and it actually broke above this other level there. It's a good candle. Like it's done these before in the past when it hit trend support and rallied. So I really like it. I really like this one. It's kind of going up in the face of a lot of uncertainty here. But the thing I like about it, I like the fundamentals the most. It's they have a lot of exposure in the Middle East, and it's just not like a big United States exposure or Europe or anything. So I think it is actually Europe, but I just like the Middle East has a lot of potential now, especially with what they do with their app. So that's a really good one. Like, I think it's a good trade with the shares too. I had the calls. I should have bought the $5 calls on one of these reclaims here back there, but I got the 750s for like October, but it's good just for the fives too, or the shares. It's a good setup, really. It's one of the better ones right now because it just held this trend support and broke. The talk was good follow through too. I think this might be it. I think it's probably gonna sell off here and go sideways. Like I was saying, it's kind of already had its percentage move, what it usually does. But I like it long term too, or longer term. And I'm watching the dominoes. Just I'm waiting for these levels to crack. Like if it gets a good break below 377, especially 377, that's a good. I want to buy some puts on that one because it's doing what it's done in the past, where it just channels and breaks down. It's just failed to really take out the highs from earlier in the year, or last year really. It's just gone nowhere. And the CGC, like, I really wish I had taken some puts on the trend break, because it broke once it broke this downtrend, the momentum just kind of died out, and it's just 2 red days in a row now. But the thing about it is, though, I mean, if you look at the volume here, the volume is just going down. The sell volume is going down every day almost. So that's kind of points more towards a bull flag, just based on the volume. So that's just the only thing that's like kind of sketchy for a trade here, but the trade obviously was like on this break, but I'm not so sure about it. So let's look at MJ and ETFs. Okay, yeah, MJ just cracked too. It just broke a level there. So actually this one looks like a better, and the volume has been pretty high on the sell days. I don't think MJ has options though, but that's a short. And probably Tilray is actually pretty good today, but it's kind of the same. And I think my SNDL calls are wiped out, but as I speak, the FTCH calls or puts are doing good. We got a 4% down day today, and I was talking about this yesterday. I thought this was gonna bearish engulf because it's done that in the past. These little weak doji candles, like there, and it just busts through those to the downside. So the shorts are in control in this one, and I really like this setup with this big gap down. I always like the gap downs for breakdown setups. I always like my 52-week lows breakdown setups. But I've got like 3 scans now for 3 scans I run in Stock Fetcher for the new lows for shorting. CHPT is flirting with some downside here too. I still got the BLNK. I've got the BLNK puts. I took profits on the CHPT. I might have to re-enter. I was saying I want to re-enter the CHPT if it gets a technical breakdown. So it'd be below 520, 521. That's a good short still. It's got the gap down too. But that's what I like to do with these breakdowns. Is see that like that gap down. I think that's about it. Let's do the other ones though. Let's also looking at. Oh yeah, Tesla is pretty good. Like that's it's doing what I thought it would do if it held green, had a good push. It's kissing right off of the trend support. Like the trend support. There usually the stocks like they'll hit trend support and then figure it out for another day or two after that, and then go up or down. So, but looks like that's like the flag. I was looking at the bull ETF because it has like the options on it, but that did like a bull flag there. It's not really much of a bull flag, but it's holding this level, so I kind of missed that one. It would have been good when it held the lows today, 16, like 17, when it popped over 17. But that's a setup like the trade, you know. If there's no better setups, that's a good setup on a expectation of a pop there. I think I could easily get 1850, 19, like in a few days. And looks like IWM's having some trouble at this level here. Oh yeah, we took it out. Wow. We took out the this big level here. And then so the next stop is this one here. Let's see what kind of curious what SPY's doing. Yeah, see it. I noticed like there's a down channel. It's not the best down channel. Looks like that was it there, and then it had an up channel up there. So we got some major levels taken out here. It almost looked like it was trying to do a rounding bottom, like the bottom would be like that, and that would be the very bottom. But it's in a it's in this downtrend channel here. It's just downtrending. Like, the fact that it couldn't get any momentum today is pretty bad for the bulls here. It's pretty bearish right now. So the reaction to the FOMC day is not looking really good. I know, like in the past, you know, when they start cutting rates, you know, when they shift cycles, when they start cutting the rates, that's when the top and the markets are always in, you know, after a long rate hike cycle. So there's not really much to go on, you know, if they keep them unchanged. I don't know any data on that. I'm sure somebody's got data on you know, what's happening and when they're unchanged for this point. But it looks like, as I'm doing this here, it's about 3 o'clock, and we got some serious breakdown action going on, and SPY's taking out lows again. So let's see some of the other ones I was looking at, like XRT. It's kind of, yeah, it's not really much of a reaction, but usually the print today will tell you the direction if they're after FOMC meetings. So it's looking like we're going to go lower tomorrow. So I just want to pull up some more watch lists and make sure I got everything that I was thinking about today. Oh yeah, Peloton's at lows. I still have those puts. I sold the 550s, but I still have the $5 922 September 22s $5 strikes. I have those still. Looks like it's trying to knock out this candle too, that green candle from yesterday. So hopefully there's no fireworks and we just get some more sweet breakdowns. Like the Peloton's a great one to trade for swing trading for shorts. Like, just for a long time it's had a lot of consecutive red days and red weeks. Like there it was like down for a couple weeks, and just a lot more red than green. So yeah, a lot of red on the screen now. JKS is at new lows. It's great. Yeah, I really like this JKS setup. You can see it, that descending triangle broke down perfectly. Like when it hit, they get to a point where it's like an inflection point on these triangles. Like when they get to the tip of the triangle, the market just has to go one way or the other. And usually, I very rarely see like a triangle tip where they just go sideways for a week or two. But these, like, as you see, I talk a lot about triangles with longs and shorts, and they're really good setups. Like my expectancy, like on all the stocks, all the trades that I've tracked, my expectancy on triangles is really good. One of the highest ones with bull flags. Bull flags and triangles are really good. Well over like 40% win rate. I think it's actually 50% probably with the triangles. So especially if you find good ones, like at big levels. So looking pretty good for my puts here. Like, I've had more puts than calls for a while. I just got some calls on these ones I like the fundamentals on, like Talk and Yalla, and still got some of the energy calls too. But yeah, it looks like well, it looks like the reaction today was oil. I did hedge with some puts. Like I got some HLX puts. for the oil puts because I just had all these oil longs on. JKS is going good. My puts are up 14% now. Peloton 81%. The FTCH has been nice. I should probably add to some of these breakdowns and shorts. But look at the USO, pretty big crack of momentum there. That's not good. Like, it likes to have momentum when it runs. So if it doesn't recover tomorrow, like we're going down on oil. It's really tempting to get some hold some puts overnight because a lot of times there's really good gap ups and gap downs on oil. The follow through the overnight follow through is really good. Series is going sideways. It's kind of stubborn. But that's another short I like. This actually looks like a pretty good spot. It's kind of up at a channel resistance here. It's like a downtrend channel. Yeah, that's a good spot. If I'd say tomorrow, if it breaks down tomorrow, if we break this bear flag here, that's a good entry for puts or short. I just like puts because I just shorting like and holding overnight is crazy, and I have to call my broker and find out the rates and everything. It's kind of a racket. Like I think the short selling for retail traders, they kind of made it a racket where the cost of borrows are always high, and and just the fact, like, I mean, I use TradeStation, and they do have institutional clients. Like, there's a lot of quants that use it or did use it, and I have to call them. They said to find out the rates. So, but the puts are just better anyway. I mean, from the risk standpoint. So that's a level. That's a good watch here for a short. I mean, it's been sideways so long and down, like you'd think it'd get a pop here, but it's just still looking bearish. XHB. These are the levels to watch on XHB. It faked out. It tried to break that downtrend, and then it's given up all the gains today. Yeah, I really think this one looks like it's coming back to trend support. It's going to come back to about 76.50 or 76s. Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty big reversal today. See, it just tried to break that downtrend. Did like a triangle there, and then failed to hold. So that's a good. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna. Just the fact that it failed looks pretty bearish. So I guess my rounding top might work out after all on XHB. I saw this top pattern when it was forming up here back in like mid-August, and it's not looking bullish at all. So yeah, the uraniums are pulling back too. Yeah, not a lot of stuff. Well, I'll do scans tonight and see if anything was moving, but especially the fact that oil is down seems pretty telling. Like, oil's been up. It's been uptrending for a long time, so that's something to watch. I think oil is important here. Like, the fact that oil just had a red day today is pretty important. So I'll call it a wrap there, and I'll put up anything I see on Twitter. Or maybe I'll do another video tomorrow, or sometime soon in the future. Catch you later.